Hey everyone, I am Clara and today I'm reviewing another one of the exit games. This is the Gate Between Worlds. It's going to be a short, spoiler-free review. I think I probably will do a spoilered review separately for this, but this is a spoiler-free one. This is one of the fairly new, relatively to the others, game. Did I enjoy it as much as I love all the other exit games? Well, that is what I'm going to discuss. So let's do that, shall we? Alrighty, so did I enjoy this game? So I think anyone that's new to this channel, I really enjoy puzzle escape room type games, and I've played a fair number of them, and I've played a good number of the series of them. My favourites by far are the exit games. I absolutely adore these exit games. There's a couple that I think are amazing, and then all the rest are just wicked fun, and then there's one or two that I'm like, ugh, I hated this, I hated that. But other than that, it's just, little niggles here and there. Generally, I know I'm going to have a good time if I get one of these exit games. And where did I fall with this one? I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. But it didn't necessarily elevate. So it's probably sort of towards the I enjoyed it, but not quite as much as others. So maybe around the 7. So I don't want to spoil this. I'm not going to go into the details of it, and so I've got to be really careful with what I say. But what I will say is in terms of the puzzles, so this is a difficulty 3 out of 5, whatever that means. None of the puzzles felt too easy. So I think it was the Enchanted Forest. It felt really easy. It's like we just didn't have any trouble with any of those. That felt too easy. And then occasionally there's other ones where the puzzles feel a little bit too hard. But we didn't have any of that. They all felt a pretty good level. And well, I'm saying that I feel like some of the puzzles are too hard. That's not actually true. What I feel like is that some of the puzzles are a little bit too fiddly. Like it doesn't quite work as well as intended, or maybe it's just a little bit tricky for different people to do. Maybe somebody else would be able to do it fine, but we couldn't. And that's what has pushed down some of the other games for me, is that there was like one puzzle that I just found really, sort of fiddly, or just didn't feel like it quite worked as intended. And with this one, the truth of the matter is there was 2 puzzles that I thought were a little bit fiddly. I thought that most of them were fine, but there was just 2 that I felt were a little bit fiddly. Now, not enough that it took too long to get them solved, and not too long that it took away and detracted. I still enjoy it. This is a good sort of high middle ground, but yeah, some of them just felt a little bit tricky in terms of fiddly. Fiddly is the word. It's not tricky, it's fiddly. Now, none of the puzzles felt particularly brand new or sort of like inventive. That I don't remember having any of those moments where I go, wow, that's such a cool way of doing things. There's one that's got a really cool amongst those vibes, but other than that, there's no real big sort of like amazing, groundbreaking. Where this one comes into its own is the way that you go through the story. That felt very fresh and new compared to the others. So we've got the 2 Jigsaw exit games, which I love, but then the rest of them, you sort of have your box and your booklet and things like that. This one was slightly different in that regard. It shook things up a little bit. It changed how you did things, and that felt fresh. That felt new, and I really enjoyed that. So I like that. One thing that it did as well was it actually had a little callback to Cemetery of the Night. Now, don't worry. You don't have to have played Cemetery of the Night at all. Like, it's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. But in terms of like feeling like it's part of the same universe and it's part of the same story, it was kind of nice to see this little callback and just be like, hey, you finish this game in this location and we're going to start this here. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that. In terms of the actual theme itself, you're probably thinking Gate Between Worlds and it looks a bit Stargatey. Yeah, so for the extra nerdy values, if you like Stargate, you'll probably like the theme of this, and I know I was like nerding out about that, so that's kind of cool. So where do I rate this? Like I say, if my favourites are 9s and 10s, and then my worst ones are 6 and 7, this one I'd put around a, you know what, let's say my worst ones were around the 5-6 mark. This one I'd say is 7 to 8, 7.5. Couple of them were just a little bit too fiddly for me to really love, but I did like the fact that it was fresh and it's new. But yeah, that's how I felt about it. I'm still gonna, as soon as I finished it, it's like, right, which ones haven't we played yet? Let's get them. So, Exit, Gate Between Worlds, really great fun. Not the best, but a really good, fun time, and I enjoyed it and felt satisfied, and I felt I got my money's worth. And so, with that, until next time, take care. Bye bye.